NASA Update, brought to you by Internal Communications at NASA headquarters in Washington.
Welcome to this edition of NASA Update. I'm Janine Stanhope. At the top of the headlines this week, President Bush toured the Hubble Space Telescope technical facilities and viewed the preparations for the Astro Lessons from Space at the Marshall Space Flight Center last Wednesday. He addressed the NASA employees as well as contractors, science and math teachers who were attending an educational seminar.
I can't tell you how fortunate the country is to have Admiral Truly lead NASA through these very exciting times. First, to have space station freedom up before the century is out. For the new century, a permanent lunar base, and we're going back to the moon, back to the future, and this time, back to stay.
Back in Washington, the X-29 research aircraft was the featured subject at a press briefing, also held on Wednesday. The X-29 is an advanced technology demonstrator aircraft based at NASA's Ames-Dryden Flight Research Facility, located at Edwards Air Force Base in California. The current flights, using the second of two X-29s, are investigating high-angle characteristics and utility of the aircraft's unique forward-swept wing canard configuration. The program is part of a joint NASA-Air Force project. The Hubble Space Telescope was one of the main attractions last week at the summer convention of the American Astronomical Society in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a showcase of astronomical science for the 800 astronomers who arrived from all over the world. They were busy registering and eager to learn firsthand the project reports given to the scientific community for the first time. The Hubble Space Telescope team was there to announce the current status of the telescope. Gene Oliver explains as he showed the first picture of the space telescope just after it was deployed.
We're currently working on pointing control system modifications to take the rate that we get out of the gyros that result from these excursions and feed it back into the system and counteract and dampen out these array motions by modifying the pointing control system.
John Brandt discussed the testing procedures, and William Jeffries explained that the Hubble Space Telescope was performing extremely well.
As a measure of how good the fine guidance sensors are and how well they're performing, I should say that under probably about half the circumstances where we go from day to night or from night to day, we are able to hold lock on that star in fine lock. Those who were in this project for a long time remember how nervous we were about whether the fine guidance sensor would be able to do that, and indeed it does seem to be working very well. We expect that the fine guidance sensors will be behaving according to their plan, and that we will be able to do astrometry with the accuracy that we originally had hoped for. And so which is 2 1,000ths of a second of arc. That is, as I said, the diameter of a golf ball. If you're standing in New York, the diameter of a golf ball is seen if it's put in Los Angeles or San Francisco. So that's the kind of accuracy we hope to get, and we still hope to get that, and everything points to our being able to attain that accuracy.
Dr. Westphal confirmed the increased progress, along with his personal enthusiasm, as the team continues to fine-tune the telescope.
So at least speaking for me, I'm very optimistic, and I might comment, give you some new information. They did change the focus last night, early this morning, and it's now twice as good as it was yesterday. Instead of being about 7/10 of an arc second, it's now 0.35. And that's a very encouraging step. If we can get about 3 more factors of 2 like that, we're done. So I'm very optimistic about it. I'm not surprised by the kinds of things we do.
The astronomers were also treated to a look at an ancient method to chronicle events in the sky. This included a new discovery that was revealed by an ancient Indian tribe from southern New Mexico that witnessed and recorded a supernova, or exploding star, almost 1,000 years ago. The evidence was recorded on a piece of pottery.
The Indians are receptive to events. They they look for those events. They worship them and praise them and incorporate them into their ceremony.
The exploding star was so bright, it was visible in broad daylight for 23 days, as was also confirmed by an ancient Chinese astronomer in the year 1054. So the event was definitely from the right time period. But since the ancient pottery showed a rabbit, signifying the moon, it was not until scientists actually counted the rays on the star and found 23 that they knew for sure.
Well, in a sense, what's amazing is that we are so unaware. We're raised up in these bright cities where we can't see the stars. We have pretty well decoupled ourselves from the sky and the cosmos. But for these people, the sky was very, very real.
History reveals the sky was very real to ancient astronomers. The future of exploration shows there's a lot more to come. Also at the convention, modern-day astronomers who helped guide the Voyager missions highlighted another series of firsts with the dazzling sequences of Neptune, with its churning methane atmosphere and Neptune's largest moon, Triton. The Voyager Odyssey to places like Jupiter and its moon Io leaves only one outer planet unvisited, and that's Pluto. The man who discovered Pluto 60 years ago, Clyde Tunbaugh, watched the Voyager team enjoy the limelight, knowing that they are the latest successful explorers in a journey that began hundreds of years ago. We'll have more on the Voyager's discoveries and a series of stories that will continue in our next program. That's our report for NASA Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Janine Stanhope. We'll see you next week.